Think about the most powerful person you have ever been in a room with. Not the loudest, not the most talkative, not the one with the most opinions or the quickest comeback or the story that topped every other story. The most powerful, the one whose presence you felt before they said a word. The one who, when they did speak, made the whole room go slightly quieter. The one you found yourself watching, wondering about, trying to figure out. Now think about what made them different. Because I am willing to bet it was not what they said. It was what they did not say. It was the space around their words. The fact that they were not filling every silence, not performing for the room, not explaining themselves or justifying their presence or trying to make sure everyone knew how much they knew. They were just there, quietly, completely, without apology. And somehow that quietness, that deliberate, settled, completely unself-conscious quietness was the most commanding thing in the room. You have felt this. You know exactly what I am describing. And today we are going to talk about why it works, and more importantly, how you can build it. The first reason talking less makes people respect you more. Words become rare. Rare things become valuable. Think about water in a desert. The same water that you walk past without thinking about every morning becomes the most precious thing in existence the moment it is scarce. Your words work exactly the same way. When you talk constantly, when you have a comment for everything and an opinion on everything and a story that relates to everything, your words become noise. Not because they are not intelligent, but because they are everywhere. And things that are everywhere have no value. But the person who speaks rarely, who listens more than they talk, who opens their mouth with the clear intention of saying something worth hearing, that person's words land differently. People lean in when they speak. People remember what they said. People quote them in conversations they were not even part of, because their words felt like something, not just more noise in an already noisy room. Something deliberate, something considered, something worth receiving. Seneca wrote, "Retire into yourself as much as you can." He was not telling you to be antisocial. He was telling you to stop broadcasting everything you think and feel to everyone around you, to keep something back. Because what you keep back is exactly what makes people want to know more. And the person people want to know more about is always the most interesting person in the room. The second reason. Silence reveals other people, and that information is power. Here is something that most people never realize. When you fill every silence, you are actually doing the other person a favor they did not ask for, and that they absolutely do not deserve. Because silence makes people uncomfortable, and uncomfortable people talk. They fill the space. They say what they were not planning to say. They reveal things about themselves that they would have kept hidden if you had just kept talking and given them nothing to respond to. The person who is comfortable in silence, who can sit in a conversation without feeling the need to rescue it, collects information that the other person hands over voluntarily, without realizing they are doing it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal about the men he met every day, the advisors, the senators, the generals. He watched them. He listened more than he spoke, and he wrote down what he observed, not what they said when they were performing, what they revealed when they thought he was not paying close enough attention. Silence is not absence. Silence is observation. And the observer always understands the room better than the performer. The third reason. The person who does not need to fill silence does not need approval. The person who does not need to fill silence does not need approval, and people can feel that from across a room. Here is the truth about why most people talk too much. It is not because they have so much to say. It is because silence feels unsafe. Silence feels like it means something, like it means you are not interesting enough, not smart enough, not confident enough to hold attention without constantly giving people something to hold on to. So you fill it with words, with stories, with opinions you did not actually form. You just needed something to put in the space, and everyone in the room can feel that too. They can feel the difference between someone who is speaking because they have something to say and someone who is speaking because the silence made them panic. And the person who panics in silence signals something to everyone around them. that their sense of safety depends on your attention, and people do not respect what they know they can take away. Epictetus said, "Never say you have lost something. Say instead that you have returned it." Apply that to your words. Stop treating silence like something you lost, like a gap that needs to be filled immediately. Treat it like something you chose, something you are comfortable in, something that does not require your participation to be resolved. The moment you become genuinely comfortable in silence, everything about how people perceive you changes, because you are no longer performing for the room. And the person who is not performing is the only one in the room worth watching. The fourth reason: talking less makes you impossible to read. People cannot dismiss what they cannot figure out. Think about the people you find most intriguing, most compelling, most impossible to quite get a complete picture of. I am willing to bet they are not the ones who told you everything about themselves in the first 20 minutes. The person who volunteers every thought, every opinion, every reaction, every piece of information about who they are and what they believe and how they feel becomes completely knowable. And completely knowable means completely predictable. And completely predictable means easy to dismiss, easy to categorize, easy to stop paying attention to. But the person who says little, who keeps their reactions to themselves, who does not take the bait when someone tries to provoke a response, stays interesting, because there is still something to figure out, and human beings are hardwired to pay attention to things they have not figured out yet. Marcus Aurelius wrote how much more harm is caused by anger than by the things which cause the anger. That applies to oversharing too. How much more is lost by saying everything than you ever gain from saying it? Stay slightly mysterious, not as a game, not as manipulation, just as a natural result of only speaking when you genuinely have something worth saying. The mystery takes care of itself. The fifth reason: the less you say, the more weight every word carries when you do. The less you say, the more weight every word carries when you do. We covered scarcity earlier, but this goes deeper than that. Because it is not just that your words become rare when you speak less. It is that the words themselves become different. When you are not filling space, when you are not talking just to avoid silence, when you only speak after you have actually thought about what you want to say, the quality of what comes out changes completely. You stop saying things you immediately regret. You stop making promises you cannot keep because the conversation moved faster than your judgment could. You stop revealing information that you later realize you should have kept to yourself. And you start saying things that land, things that people remember, things that come from a place of genuine thought rather than anxious noise. Seneca wrote, "A sword is never worn out by being kept clean, but by constant use." Your mind works the same way. Use it constantly, loudly, reactively, and it dulls. Keep something back. Think before you speak, and every word that does come out cuts cleanly. The sixth reason: silence builds presence, and presence is the thing nobody can fake. Presence is the thing nobody can fake. You can fake confidence. You can fake happiness. You can fake certainty and enthusiasm and interest, but you cannot fake presence. Presence is the thing you feel when someone is completely in the room, not thinking about what they are going to say next, not rehearsing their next point while you are finishing yours, not performing for the corner of the room they think is watching them, just there, listening, observing, fully arrived in the conversation. And the reason most people cannot achieve this is that they are too busy filling the space to actually inhabit it. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this in his journal, not using this exact language, but returning again and again to the idea of being fully present, of not letting the mind run ahead of the moment, of giving whatever is in front of you, the person, the conversation, the silence, your complete and unhurried attention. That attention, that quality of being genuinely present, is felt by everyone in the room, and it creates something in the people around you that constant talking never does. It makes them feel seen. And the person who makes others feel seen without needing to talk constantly to do it is the most magnetic person in any room, every time. So here is what this actually comes down to. Talking less is not about being withdrawn. It is not about being cold or mysterious for the sake of it. It is not a trick or a technique or a way to manipulate how people see you. It is about something the Stoics spent their entire lives building. A relationship with yourself so complete, so settled, so genuinely at peace with your own company that you do not need the constant noise of your own voice to feel okay in a room. When you are full on the inside, you do not need to constantly prove it on the outside. And that fullness, that quiet, settled completeness, is what people feel when they are around you, before you say a word, after you leave the room, in the space between your sentences, in the silences you choose instead of filling. That is presence. That is the thing that makes the room go quiet when you speak. That is respect, not asked for, not performed for, just earned quietly over time by someone who understood that less is almost always more. If this said something you needed to hear, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Subscribe for new Stoic wisdom here every single week.